Hello, you guys. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the Bible Study Studio. My name is Sonia McCullough Lockridge, and I am your host. And I joy to come to you in this fashion. So it's almost Christmas or the holidays, so I'm going ahead and wearing my joy shirt. So I'm excited about it, and I joy to come to you in this fashion. Now, in regards to our study of the book of Revelation, we are still in chapter 1 of the book of Revelation, but we have moved forward to three verses. Our plan is to look at 3 verses today, but that is our plan. But we're going to go a little bit further than looking at 3 verses today. And today we're actually looking at the text in this ESV version of the Bible. We're looking at in the ESV version of the Bible. But before we do that, I do want to share with you that today after Bible study, I got myself a new Bible. I got myself a brand new old Bible. The pub date on this Bible is 1964. So that means this Bible is 60 years old. And it was produced by a company named Dixon in Chicago. And look at the name of it. It is the New Analytical Index Edition, the Holy Bible, the New Analytical Index Edition. It has a dictionary and a concordance with it. And it also has some really neat pull-out charts. Really neat pull-out charts. I don't know if you can see. I might have to start doing some top-down videos. I'm not sure. There, you can see it. That is a chart of the production of the word through 1952. So it has that. It also has a really nice pull-out map. And then it has a really, really nice double-sided chart of Crucifixion Day. Chart of the day of crucifixion. I have to hold it weird, so the glare. And then it also has a chart of Passion Week with the dark days highlighted. Y'all, this is a brand new Bible. It has not been used. The pages, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to show you the pages. Some of the pages are still stuck together. So this Bible's not been used. But it also has charts in it. I was going to try and show you a chart. Hold on. Let's see if I can find one of these. Almost every, and it has purple ribbon. And you can see the only part of the ribbon that's changed color is the part that was outside of it. So this Bible is just a little bit older than me. I was born in 1963, so I am 61. This Bible was produced in 1964, so it is exactly 60 years old. So, on every book of the Bible, it has a nice little chart that outlines the Bible. Like this one on Isaiah, it gives the 10 burdens, the assurance of restoration, the servant of Jehovah, Israel's future glory, predictions and promises, political, moral, and social conditions. And it has one of those charts for every book. And I got this Bible for free today, you guys. There's a place here in my town where you can pick up Bibles for free, and they have them on a shelf, and if you want it, you can have it. And so I desired to have this one for myself today. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. So let's dig into our 3 verses. I noticed that in this portion, sorry, made a loud noise, very, very sorry. In this portion of the text that we read today, that we are reading today, the 3 verses, that the key phrase, it's not even a phrase, the word like is used a lot. The word like is used a lot. Matter of fact, I think I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or is it 7? Okay, so I marked this Bible, and y'all know I do not like to mark my Bibles, but in preparation for our time today, I marked all the likes in preparation today for our time. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 likes in this portion of the text. There's that word again, 7. So let's read. Yesterday, we read through 11, and today our charge is to read through 12. Now, there is a like in verse 10, and it reads as follows. I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet, like a trumpet. So let's start with 12, and let's read. Today we're actually going to read through 16 because I want us to hear all these likes. So there is a like in verse 10. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet. So there's a like in verse 10, and then I want us to pay close attention to all the likes in between 12 and 16. So our focus verses today are going to be 12 through 16. Revelation chapter 1, verses 12 through 16. So let's read. Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me, and on turning I saw 7 golden lampstands. Let's stop right there. Let's read that again. Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me, and on turning I saw 7 golden lampstands. Now, let's read that in the new Bible that I just did not purchase today, that I got for free today. Let's see. Of course, it's going to take me a minute to find it because I'm not real familiar with this Bible. And it has 800 pages of additional help. So therefore, I'm going to get to, this is perfect timing because look at this chart for the Revelation. I'm going to copy that for us and put it in the community tab. That's awesome. Revelation 1 chapters. I want us to reread verse 12. Verse 12. 1:12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. Of course, this is a King James version of the text. And when I turned, I saw. And when I turned, I saw. Now, let's look at it in the NASB version of the text, the 1995 version of the text. Revelation 1:12. Revelation 1 and 12. I probably should have had these marked already. And look, I did. Revelation 1:12. Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking with me, and having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. One more time. Then I turned to see the voice. Are you guys hearing what the text is saying? What John is saying here? Then I turned to see the voice. He saw the voice. I turned to see the voice that was speaking with me. And having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. He saw a voice. This is what the text says. He saw a voice. Now, let's look at a different translation. Let's look at this NIV translation, which is a thought-for-thought translation. Let's look at how it reads, and then we will likely look at one other translation, and then we'll stop right there. Revelation 12, 1:12. 1:12. And it reads, I turned around to see the voice that was speaking to me. And when I turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. He heard a voice and he turned to see the voice. He heard a voice, then he turned to see a voice. One more time in the NIV. I turned around to see the voice that was speaking to me, and when I turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. Do we have? Yes, we have a CSB right here. Let's just check it out. Then I turned to see whose voice it was that spoke to me. When I turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. I turned to see the voice that spoke to me. When I turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. He turned and he saw something that he had never seen before. So our question on the table for today is, what did John see when, The question on the table today is, when did John see the voice that was speaking to him? When did John see the voice that was speaking to him? That's our question. One more time in the C Christian Standard, which is a word-for-word translation. The only thought-for-thought translation in my stack today is the NIV. It's the NIV. 12. Then I turned to see whose voice it was that spoke to me. When I turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. NIV 12. 1:12. I turned around to see the voice that was speaking to me. And when I turned, I saw. 7 golden lampstands. The NASB 1995. Verse 1:12. Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking with me, and having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. And in this new KJV that I just got today, in 12, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. ESV 1:12. Which, by the way, the ESV is not a verse by verse translation. The verses are embedded in the chapters. So 12. Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me, and on turning, I saw 7 golden lampstands. Our question for today is, when did John see the voice that was speaking to him? He saw that voice when he turned. Sometimes all we need to do is turn around. All we need to do is turn from the direction from which we are looking. When we hear something, sometimes we'll turn a little, or we'll just try to hear. We'll hear something unusual or something that we haven't heard before, and we won't make a complete turn. Turning is pivotal and paramount in this our one life. And John, had he not turned, he would not have seen the 7 golden lampstands. Because he did not see them until he turned. So let's read the rest of the passage. Let's see what happens after he saw them. And in the midst of the lampstands, one like a son of man, clothed with a long robe and with a golden sash around his chest. The hairs of his head were white, like white wool, like snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire. And I didn't count that like, so we're going to have to recount. His feet were like burnished bronze, refined in the furnace, and his voice was like the roar of many waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp 2-edged sword, and his face was like the sun shining at full strength. There's a lot of light going on in here. There's a lot of light going on in here. Where did I miss that one? It was, his eyes were like a flame of fire. John's giving us a very significant description of what he's seeing. But he is comparing it to that which he has seen. Okay? He's giving us a very visual idea of what he is seeing, but he is comparing it to that which he has seen. One more time. So I think now, upon a new count, there are 7 lights in this portion of the passage that we are reading today between Revelation 1:12 and Revelation 1:16. I'm going to count them again. So we have, because we know 7 is significant, okay? So every time we see something 7 in this book of Revelation, we need to pay attention. So, one like a son of man, clothed with a long robe and with a golden sash around his chest. The hairs on his head were like white wool, like snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire. His feet were like bronze, refined in a furnace, and his voice was like the roar of many waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp 2-edged sword, and his face was like the sun shining in full strength. So that's 1 like a sun, 1, like white wool, 2, like snow, 3, like a flame of fire, 4, like burnished bronze, 5, like the roar of many waters, 6, like the sun shining in full strength, 7. Okay? 7 lights between 12 and 16. In 4 verses, 7 likes. Does this give us a complete picture of what he saw? It should. It should. Number 1, one like a son of man. Number 2, his head were like white wool. Number 3, like snow. Number 4, like a flame of fire. Number 5, like burnished bronze. Number 6, like the roar of many waters. Number 7, like the sun shining in full strength. So, texture is here because, number 1, like a son of man. So, stood upright. Number 2, like the son of man with a long robe and a golden sash around his chest. The hairs of his head were white like wool. White like wool. John's talking about sheep wool here. Okay? White like white wool. White like white wool. Like snow. His eyes, hair, eyes. We know the texture of wool. His eyes were like a flame of fire. Fiery eyes, like a flame of fire. More than one eye, 2 eyes. 2 eyes. It doesn't say that here, it doesn't say 2 eyes, but it is plural. Feet, like burnished bronze, refined in a furnace. Voice sound, like the roar of many waters. Something's coming from his mouth. He's holding something in his hand, stars, and from his mouth came a sharp, 2-edged sword. And his face was like the sun shining at full strength. John's eyes could hardly take what he saw. But his charge was to write it down. So he did the best that he could do. There's a lot of likes in there. There's 7 of them. It's a mighty descriptive passage. He doesn't leave anything for us to wonder about. We know what his hair looks like. We know what his hair feels like. We know what his eyes look like. We know that his eyes are fiery. We know what his voice sounds like. We know what his voice sounds like. We know what his feet look like. We know that he has something in his hands. We know he has on a sash. And we know he has on a long robe. Are we ever this descriptive of a person? What would the police say? What would our modern day police say if we saw someone doing something and we gave them this description? Would they think we have a hand? Like, we can't even tell people what color people's eyes are, okay? But John, he's going in one direction, and he turns and he sees this, like a son of man. Hair, eyes, voice, what's in his mouth, a sword, sash, robe, feet. A mighty description. So that is the 4 verses of the text that we are to go over today. And I just want us to see how every word is important. Every word is prominent. Every word speaks to something. Every word is profitable for teaching. This is Sonia signing out. Have a blessed day in the Lord. Tomorrow we will finish up with the verses for this portion of the text before we go to chapter 2 next week. And then on Friday, we'll have a weekly overview. And on Friday, we'll have those keywords. We'll have the keywords on Friday, and I think there's 9 of them. The names of the 7 churches, and the keyword perseverance. And then I added another one in there. Okay, I can't remember. So it's 9, I believe, and there's one that I'm missing today. But we will have our keywords, and we will finish the study of this portion of chapter 1. We will finish looking at it tomorrow, and then on Friday, we will have our weekly wrap-up of this portion of the text. Thank you, and have a blessed day in the Lord.